Okay. All right. So what I wanted to do first was just show you guys again what it looks like from the kids' perspective. So on my iPad, I'm gonna join a Nearpod session. Okay. So the teacher made the Nearpod. This is what it's gonna look like for the kids. And on Google Classroom, you would just give them the code.
Streaming Wi-Fi. It's not working.
Do we have to give them the link to Nearpod, or do they get the code and it takes them, tell them to log on to Nearpod dot whatever?
Basically, there's a share button, and I'll show it to you once I get in the teacher side.
Okay.
And it's a link that you post right on Google Classroom, and that's what usually has the code embedded in it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So here I am. I'm a student, and I'm just going to hit join session. I should probably get my thing up here. All right. So I imported a PowerPoint in here, but the kid sees my PowerPoint slide, and then teacher inserted a quiz, and it said to translate this audio clip. I'm not even sure if there is an audio clip in here. I think I was just playing around. So basically they could play an audio clip and they would answer this quiz. Next, another activity was the poll. Which is your favorite sport? For me, I like basketball because I just do. All right, now here's another PowerPoint slide. Just wanted to show you an example of what the activities look like. All right, so here is a 3D image that was brought in that the student can zoom in on and see. And these are all available in the Nearpod. Like I didn't create this. This was available to me. So there's like a bunch of these types of things. Okay. So they get the cool 3D image and stuff that they can play with. This one, I was working with Renetta and I was saying, hey, you can tell them to circle all of, if this were written in Spanish, she could have them circle all of the red food items, right? And they would use their drawing tools and, go ahead and circle here. Okay. I don't know if you can see the drawing, the things that I'm circling. Okay. So that's the drawing feature. Here's matching pairs. Again, these are Spanish, but if I choose the apple and manzana, yay, I win. I got my vocab right. So yeah, good for vocab. Another PowerPoint slide, and I can't remember if I have any more activities in this one. So basically, I just wanted to show you, this is what it looks like from the kids' point of view.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that was like a website that I had plugged in there. Okay, great. So it's done. And I will exit my lesson. All right, so now let's go back to what it looks like from the teacher's perspective. Okay, I logged into the Nearpod app. All right, so I'm doing this on my iPad. When you want to create a Nearpod, it makes you do that from your browser, which can be done from the iPad. It's just going to open it in Safari. Okay, so it brought me immediately to a, yeah.
Can you do this not on your iPad? Can I do it on my laptop?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can. Like I'm just in a web browser right now.
Okay.
I'm just showing you that it can be done from here as well.
Okay. Can I ask a question while we're here?
Yeah.
Because I know you're going to get to it, but I'm impatient. I have students. I have student-generated slideshows, and they're submitting them to me as PDFs. So when I drag the PDF in there, will it break it down by slide, or is there another step?
Yes, it will. It'll ask you.
Okay.
So basically, however many pages are in the PDF, it'll say, do you want each page to be a separate slide?
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm just going to name my Nearpod. And I'm going to start out by, I want to upload my file. So you can do a search. You can browse to your Google Drive, or you can browse to the Files app on your iPad. I'm just going to browse using the Files app because I think I have one sitting in a location over here. I'm pretty sure. Of course, my Wi-Fi is like super slow because we're all distance learning over here. Let's see. Oh, I thought I had it sitting in here.
There's a PowerPoint down in the lower right.
Yeah. This one just isn't as, this one might be big too. So this is a PowerPoint that a student, I think you could have probably already seen it. This is the one that Patrick Ehrman did on YouTube. So this might take a little bit to import because it's all images.
Mm-hmm.
So it does take a while to import your presentation, but I'm just going to go ahead and see if it allows me to add like an activity slide while we're waiting. Okay, so add slide. I'm going to choose, oh, there we go. All right, so each slide imported on its own. It's still kind of working, but you can see them all, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to hit add slide, and I'm going to choose add content.
What?
Sorry for my family in the background.
What?
Oh my goodness. 1 second. Can you guys,
I had two Pop-Tarts.
can you guys, they're arguing over Pop-Tarts,
I had
everyone.
two Pop-Tarts.
Everybody just watch out.
No, I had one
Pop-Tarts
out
are
of
hot
that
commodity
one,
over
and I
here.
had two out of that one.
Okay. So these are the options I have to add content. All right. Let me go back here. So there's a slide. So you can, again, upload another file. You can add video, text, or an image. This is actually, look, it looks like an actual, you can embed almost a little PowerPoint in your PowerPoint.
Okay.
Okay. Hit cancel on that one. Add content again. I've never used Flowcabulary, but I did use the Nearpod 3D. That's where I got this dude right over here. So here are your categories that you can choose from. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the animal cell since it's right in front of me.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. So by default, it throws them at the end here, and then we can just reorganize them. Now I'm going to add another piece of content. I'll add a field trip. All right, so here, all right, so it automatically gives me some locations, and you can do a search if you want. But again, I'm just going to pick the closest one just to make it easy. All right, add content again. Graphing calculator, I have not used yet. BBC video, I guess you can search for some videos here. I'm skipping over Sway for now. Slideshow, yeah, basically you can add a couple, how about this? Let's see what we can find here. There we go. Wonder if it lets me. Okay, so you can add like a slideshow there of just images, and I only chose one image. And then video and audio. So video, it lets me browse to a video. So if you have a screencast that you guys have already created, if you have it sitting on your iPad or your computer, you could upload it here, or you could place a YouTube link in here. And I think I have my video up here. So I'm just going to hit share, grab this link. Oops. And paste it in here. Let's see if it works. All right, that's my video that I uploaded to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to select it and hit save. All right, so I'm embedding my own lesson in there. In addition, I can add an audio file or a PDF that they'd be able to like scroll through, or a live Twitter stream, okay? So these are all of your add content options. You've got the ability to add web content. Again, this literally just gives them a web address that they can kind of search through, right? If you had them wanted to go to a website that you wanted them to look at, you could plug that URL in there. I haven't used that that feature too often. And then, oh, this is where I was going to head. Add activity. All right, so this is where they actually get to, start doing some things. The time to climb is that game I'm not really going to focus on it too much, but basically it's the game. And I know we went over it in our session where they get you answer a series of questions and their little icon moves forward as they get them right. You can ask an open-ended question. It's thinking. All right, this is my question. I can add a timer for them on this particular, I'm only going to give them, 1 minute to answer this one. I can also add a reference. So again, like language classes, this might be a good place to put an audio file and say, I want you to translate this audio file, right? So the kids can listen to it and translate, or you can put another video in here, a quick video, or a PDF. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose an image for right now. And again, I'm going to look for something simple. All right, so they will see this image and they would answer my question. Enable student audio recordings. I'm going to turn this on because I have not seen that feature yet. Apparently it says it's in beta version. So maybe they're looking to allow students to record their voices. So that would be really cool. Okay, save. Add another slide, add an activity. The matching pairs is what you saw in the beginning where, it was good for vocab where, all right, I'll say, match the pairs. And you can say, have a word over here and the definition over here. Or like in the example I had earlier, I had the picture of the apple and then the manzana was written over on this side. So you would just add a pair, and then that you would have that matching game. I'm not gonna move forward with that one. Yes, I guess I do want to cancel this. Okay, add slide, add activity. Oh, oops. A quiz is literally exactly what it sounds like. You're just, this is your quiz. It does have some functions over here that you can add as an option. Sorry, I'm not like making this truly academic. And again, you can add a file for reference, an image, a video, a PDF. I'm not going to continue to keep adding these because I've already showed you in one instance what it would look like. And then I have to choose that this is the correct answer. And then I could add another question. Question 2.
What's that pi symbol that keeps showing up?
That's if you need to add like math functions in your question. Again, so that's a beta, so there could potentially be some bugs with it. You never know.
Well, I don't really need to worry about that.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. No. All right, and then I'll hit save. Wonder if I could have a video file, an audio file handy. Would be great if I did. I just don't know. Huh. Maybe this isn't the proper file format. So we would have to look into what kind of audio file format they would need to do that. Okay. Hit save on my quiz. We'll add another activity. So Flipgrid, I haven't used it in my class, but Flipgrid is, it's almost like video blogging. So you would post a topic and then the kids would respond to that topic with, it's a 1:30 video response. So it's an app on the iPad. They could just record their answer and then each student can reply to each other. So if I wanted to respond to that kid's video, I would add my own video in there. So that is an option as well. The poll and the collaborate the draw it. This is the one that I really, really like because it allows them to actually use the stylus. And this is where I said circle all of the red foods. And again, if this were written in another language, or if you guys wanted to, I'm not sure how it would apply for religion, but maybe for science, they, you know, there's a diagram here where they had to circle parts of something. And then you would add your picture here. Or what I've done in the past is I've had a diagram here and the image, and it's not labeled. It's not labeled at all. And their job is to come in here and label it. Okay. Actually, instead of having it over here, it should actually be the background image. Let me choose that again. Because the background image is going to take up more space. So that's how they're going to want to do that. Save. Let's see what we have left as far as activities go. We have a poll. I don't know that I necessarily need to go through the rest of these. A collaborate is similar to a Padlet, right? So the kids can place a sticky note up there. Fill in the blanks was fine. It was okay. You guys want to play around with it. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and stop, but you can go through and add all of these activities if you need to. Do you want me to, does anybody need me to go over these additional activities? Right? I mean, you just play with them. Okay, so I'll hit next here. And again, so if I want to move my activities around, you just drag them. All right.
So this was imported from a regular PowerPoint slide, correct?
Right, right. And if you have a PDF, that works as well. It just breaks up each page of the PDF into a separate slide.
Thank you.
So I'm keeping it on mute because my kids are loud. So
yeah, no, you're good. You're good. All right, so I am going to hit save and exit. Choose my grades. Doing mine for PD. And I think I'm in other here. All right, so now it's going to ask me if I'd go back to my app. So I'm in the app. Here's the one I just created. And if I want to publish it to the kids, you know, you have the option for student paced or a live lesson. So when I am in class, in the actual classroom, I will run a live lesson and I'll control, you know, when they get to go from slide to slide to slide, because they'll answer something and then I can pop up the response, you know, as they are answering, or if it's a poll and I'll say, oh, look, 80% of you answered this, and then we'll have a little discussion about it. But for the distance learning, student pace is where you're going to want to go. And then this is the code. This is the code that you would use. So when I tried it last week, I used this Google Classroom feature, but the kids responded to me saying that it's like the code wasn't embedded in the link. So instead of using that feature, I used this. So this link right here, I just copied this link and I pasted it over to Google Classroom.
where did you find that spot to say whether it was live or student paced again?
So when I open up the my Nearpod right here, I click on it. Like I've already created it, and I went to my library to see all the Nearpods I've done. As soon as I click on it, down here at the bottom is where it tells me. Can you see that or no?
Yeah, I can't see it because of the Zoom.
Oh, the Zoom menu. Okay. So yeah, live lesson or student based. Yeah.
Okay.
So I click student based, and now it's telling me, oh look, I already have one open here. And in addition, you can change how long you let this stay open. So maybe you only want it open for 3 hours, or I guess you can't do 3 hours, but for 24 hours, or you can have it open for a couple days. So you can change your expiration date there. Okay, so MURPE. All right, so it's launched and it's live. Great, so now I'm gonna close this, MURPE, right? And I'm gonna go back over here and pretend to be the student again. MURP, oops. All right, so this is the student again, joining the session that we just created. Here's the plant cell that they have. I can zoom into it. I'm just touching my iPad and whatever, playing around with it. Maybe, who knows, maybe they just want to like move it around and check around all the edges, whatever. You would just want to play and see what kind of other 3D images they have. All right. Oops, next cell, next slide. Again, so this is just one of the PowerPoint slides. This is my screencasting video, right? So maybe I want them to listen to my 2-minute video about what I was teaching them, right? So here's me explaining my content. I'm trying to simulate a classroom experience where I'm delivering the content, right? So again, this video is only like a little over 2 minutes, right? I like to try and keep them as brief as possible for these guys. All right, and then they
question. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say that I was doing this, you know, for a PowerPoint, and then I could upload, like for me, for physics, like I would be doing an example problem, for example, and I want to record it, and then I could embed that into this PowerPoint.
Yes, correct. So there's 2 different ways. You could either, if you have that video sitting on your computer, you could upload it right to Nearpod. I don't know if you noticed that when we got to this screen where it said add video, it gave you the option to browse to a video that's on your computer, or you can insert like a link to a YouTube video.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they'd watch their lesson. Another PowerPoint slide. Okay, here's our open-ended question. And there's the picture. So maybe whatever question that we're answering here pertains to this picture. Again, I click on it, it enlarges it in case they can't see it very well. Student says, all right, this is my answer. Awesome, and I'll submit that. Another PowerPoint slide. Here is our virtual field trip in Greece. So it just kind of lets me take a look around. This is way cooler if the kids had goggles. I mean, the Google Cardboard, because it makes you feel like you're in the environment. But still, if you want to show them a place that they haven't been, or a museum, or some kind of landscape that pertains to a reading that you guys are reading, this is kind of a cool way to do it. Okay. So Nearpod does have VR, and we can, and which I want to do is order some of these little headsets so that the kids, once we get back into the classroom, can use them. All right, another PowerPoint. Tiger King, awesome. This was supposed to be my slideshow. I only had 1 picture in here. So if there had multiple pictures, they would be listed all down here, and they would just go from picture to picture to picture to see all of the pictures. Like I've used, let me go back. I've used this feature to talk about computer components, right? And I'll say, you know, these are what all the different forms of RAM look like, or these are what different kind of motherboards look like, depending on whether you're on a laptop or whether you're on a desktop. Okay. Okay, and then at the end, maybe we'll have them answer their quiz. All right, so, and this is the question, just says this is your quiz, choosing option A, next, option B, submit. All right, so this was the diagram, and of course my question does not apply at all to the picture I have here. But again, if you didn't have these labels here, you could have them use the drawing tools to label them, or circle, maybe this says circle all of something. You know, I wonder if you can get it to be a little bit thicker here. Right, so they can use their styluses to circle whatever it is, or write whatever it is. So I know this works nice on math problems. Maybe you had a problem and you want to see them how they worked it out, actually write out the math problem, solving it here. It can be used in that way. In my class, I have them trying to determine the difference between a browser and a search engine. So I'll put icons of Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, and then I'll have Yahoo and Safari, and I'll make sure I'll say, hey, which one is the search engine? You know, so I'll have them circle whichever ones apply. But yeah, this can be used in multiple ways. All right, hit submit. And that's it. So then the kid exits. And they do have the ability to take notes as well as they go, which of course I didn't do. If they had taken notes, they can either download them to Google Drive or email them if they really needed to take notes. And again, a lot of these features are part of this gold package that we have access to, which they say that we are going to have until the end of this COVID crisis, but I would like to keep it for the people who are going to make use of it. So if you're using it, I'll make sure you get it. I've been using it. I've had it upgraded for myself. And if I can get everybody on board with this, I know the school is happy to let you continue to use it. All right, so exit. All right, so I'm logged in. Now keep in mind, the students don't have to have their own accounts. So I'm logged in, but if I were a student, they would just open up the Nearpod app and it would say join. All right. So they would just hit join and put the code in. All right, so let's go to reports. Okay, so this is actually taking me back to the browser. Okay. I'm going to take you to one that I had already done because I only have one person in this one. Here is one from me for the other day. And it shows me, you know, all right, all of these kids signed in. This was their responses, you know, how did they do? Did they do everything properly? Or this is the summary, or I can go to the quiz, explore it that way, or I can choose to download it. It'll let you download it as a PDF or a CSV if you really want to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. So it just depends on how you want to grade this.
So if it was one of the draw it questions, like if I had the kids like do a problem for me.
Yep.
You didn't have one like, oh, you did have
yeah,
one.
I do. Yeah. Well, so, and in my, so here, it shows it here. So you can see that.
Okay.
So you can click through it in this manner, in this screen, or you can download everything. So when you download it, again, so you can get like a student specific view. Like I believe it's a page per student if you wanted to grade one student at a time, because this window is slightly odd in that you're looking at it question at a time.
Yeah. So if you did it as the student view, it would be like basically kind of like grading one worksheet of that kid.
Yes.
And we have all the questions listed there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, that's the download. All right, it's matching pair. Oh, that's because I didn't have that, and this is my other one. So this is what the report kind of looks like. Okay. Again, so here's the summary page. I can see if they got it right or wrong, or how much they even attempted it. Okay. In addition, as part of this gold feature, we have a school library. So I have my library of my Nearpods, but we also have a school library where we can basically have access to each other's. So Jamie, if you create a Nearpod and you want GJ to use it, we can have that sitting over here for you guys to be able to reuse each other's.
Okay.
In addition, this new sub-plan feature, I just recognized it like about 2 weeks ago. You can create a sub-plan where it's basically and I've used mine as a sub-plan before. I just didn't use this feature where I will have triggered it the morning of or the day of, and I know I'm not going to be there, and the kids would be able to do it by the time class rolled around, which was kind of nice because the sub didn't really have to do much other than write the code on the board, even though I gave it to them online anyway. Yeah, so you can create a sub-plan here. A Thursday sub-plan. And then you would just pick a lesson that you have in here. So if I add, so it's going to search I guess I can search my library. Or I'm just going to pick one. All right, so I'm only going to be distributing it to one class. Each class will get a different lesson code. You could do it like that. I'm only teaching one class. I'll just hit finish. Okay. And let's see here. And so basically, yeah, you would give this information to the, you could hit the send subplan.
So how would this be different than just giving the kids the code?
To be honest, I was perfectly content just giving them the code. I just figured I'd show it to you since it's here now. I honestly trigger it either the night before or that morning, post it on Google Classroom. They get the code, they do it on their own. They're totally fine. I suppose maybe in a school where it's maybe a little bit more locked down, this might be better because you're giving it to the actual sub and the kid, you know, I'm assuming it's better for more of a lockdown environment. You probably don't even need to make use of this, to be honest.
Okay.
But that's pretty much it. But there's a ton of other Nearpods out there. You know what I mean? If like I was doing a search because my class changed tremendously over this distance learning, because I usually teach computer applications, but I don't know that they all have computers. So I did a unit on academic research. I also did a unit on learning the Google tools, and those were already built in here. So, you know, you can search for what do they already have, and then you can download them and tweak them on your own. You can remove certain slides or add slides of your own, but they have a huge library of things out here already, and you can narrow them down by subject or by grade, even by resource type. So it's pretty awesome. I found one, and it was a little bit longer than I expected, and the kids were like, "This is really long." I was like, "Sorry, I didn't realize it was going to take you that long to do," but it was really good because it was showing them the difference on the validity of certain websites. You know, what to look for, what's bad, what looks right, and things like that.
Can you edit any of the ones that are already done?
Yes, which is exactly what I did. So I took. Let me go back to my. I think I grabbed this one from the regular, Nearpod library. And when I opened it, it lets you make a copy of it. And I just removed a couple slides because some of their slides pertained to working with partners. And I just took those out. And you could also add whatever you want to them. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just a nice way to spice up things a little bit, have it all in one spot. You can have your little lessons, put some quizzes, just a little bit more interaction as opposed to just having them absorb your video and then filling out a worksheet, kind of, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's definitely worth playing with. I mean, at first I would just do something small, take one of your PowerPoints, and just add a couple little activities, nothing major, and see how it goes. But it's worked fine for all my students.
Yeah, we've been, for physics at least, in science, for a couple of classes, we just been having them, do a PowerPoint, and then we created what we called a deliverable, which was basically a worksheet that they turned in. But I could see how I could just take that deliverable and just put it in with the PowerPoint and have them do it all together.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you just kind of incorporate any kind of questions that you want them to answer in here, and it's probably make it a little bit more interesting for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions? Pretty simple. So just play around with it and then just hit me up if you guys have questions as you're using it.
Thank you, Suzanne.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne.
You're welcome. Good luck with everything. You guys are doing awesome.
I like how we're all
about that.
I don't feel so awesome, but thank you for the compliment.
Hi, JP.
Hey.
Hey, JP.